Uh, mm, mm, mm. Oddly enough, I was just playing Hearthstone. I like to play a Hearthstone with my coffee when I wake up. Got to play the Hearthstone while the mind is still fresh. It is very complex. Yeah, I do that to lower stress. Um, there's a new update expansion there. It's kind of fun. All right, one of my favorite biomes in Warcraft, Ungoro Crater. Yes, I'm a nerd. Um, all right. Oh, Mr. Sledgy. Oh, Mr. Bijak. Guys, we're almost ready. I'm going to Yugoslavia. We're going to Yugoslavia. No, I'm going to Fiume. Um, I'm going to Rijeka on Sunday. So Simul is moved till I'm going to Croatia. So Sunday is moved till Saturday. I'm leaving on Sunday, so I can't simul. Sunday we're simuling Saturday instead. If you guys are interested, um, yeah, little holiday. So next week is off. Next week we're not streaming. I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys. When will I see you guys? Next week I'm not streaming, and we'll be back midweek, like for this stream next week. All right. This week, the following this stream the following week. I'll be back streaming on the 25th, basically. Yeah, I got a couple challenges here from Arsenal and 42. Yeah, I wish I could do a 24-hour stream, but I got to do. Yeah, well, you guys don't pay me enough for that. This is just a charity. If I was independently wealthy, I could do a 24-hour stream, but I'm too poor and I have to teach lessons. Can you take my challenge after the other two? You can. I can. I'd love to do a 24-hour stream. I do 24-hour live poker streams. All right. Schumacher, followed by 4T2. All right, guys. You can choose 5-3 or 5-5. I've implemented this option to give us the chance for more games. So it's up to you. 5-5 or 5-3 casual. We've implemented the option. Now last time what did I do? Let's try D6. I haven't really been playing this, but I don't like playing the same classical Nimzo every time against Schumacher. We'll bust out the old Igor Foigl Ukrainian variation now if I play knight f6, though I suppose we have other options here. This is my game against Heinrich Danielson, where he played pawn takes pawn. What was it? Pawn takes pawn. We could try to play like the polar bear. All right. Polar bear defense. But I'm not really qualified to play the polar bear defense. I don't know. All I know is general ideas and facing Danielson that one game with white. So I think this is right. When I played white, I don't remember, it was 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I don't know if I played e4 right away. I've also been influenced by, and queen d2 is kind of the main move there. There's a famous game, Pulugievsky Nesmedinov, which was reached by a different move order, but where Nesmedinov sacked his queen. against Polu. His most famous game, but it was played with a slightly different move order. Anyway, I don't normally play this, but you know, anything you can get to get Schumacher slightly out of book is probably a good thing. We right. You didn't play B3. I think this is the question of White having relatively serious weaknesses on the dark squares, and that's what happened. You know, that was really the theme in Nesmedinov versus Plugievsky Nesmedinov. There was a lot of dark squares. Plugievsky played like Bishop D3, Knight E2, not Knight F3. But still, I like these types of structures. White looks like theoretically better because of the E4 pawn, but there's a lot of weaknesses. So now what do you do? Do I do like a Caruana where I take here? It seems unnecessary. I mean, it is kind of just a King's Indian now, more or less. A King's Indian of sorts. Sorts. If I put this pawn over here, it's a Marazzi. Even if White does have a grip on D5, I mean, it is a Marazzi, I guess. Whatever we say. Grip. That's all White has. So, I got 2 hours, guys. We've got 2 hours, and then it's moneylender, chess coach. My money lending business isn't going too well. I'm not really successful. Loan shark. Let's see. Money lending business couldn't go worse. All right, I want to play Knight C5. You know, I mean, using this A pawn is an idea, but I'm not going to do it. I'm using all my experience as a Marazzi player. I mean, honestly, I'm also playing the Scotch with G6 with black, and it's the same thing. I can get this out of a G6 Scotch. I spelled laundering wrong. I spelled tiddlywinks wrong, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure about the tiddlywinks spelling being wrong. Bijak, you like your bad bishop that much? You wouldn't trade it for a good knight on C5? Seriously? Wow. I don't want to give you my dark square bishop that much. I could. It would be really extreme. So now, I mean, taking the pawn, it's definitely playable. Definitely. Definitely. I don't know. I'm going to go with the vicious long diagonal. Oh, no. I know what he wants to do. I understand what his plan is now. Wow. Bro, this is pretty sick. You're a sick individual. So triple pawns. I'm down with triple pawns. Oh no, please don't triple my pawns. Damn, how does he have so much time? Laundering. Oh my god, dark squares. Wow, that's some serious strengths or weaknesses you got there. Damn, bro. Well, there goes the F4 plan. Oh, now he can win a pawn. Not. Damn, dude, how does he have so much time, bro? It's like you. It's like you, Arsenal fan. He's like all concentrated and he doesn't talk. What the hell is he doing? He's like just moving instantly. Where did my time go? Sorry for thinking a little bit. Oh no. Sorry about that thinking thing. Ah. He just wants to play bullet, man. 5-3 is way too long for this guy. But all of you guys, Arsenal fan, him, so many players play too fast. Mr. Slow is great with increment. He's a role model. He should be a role model for you guys. I mean, Mr. Slow is probably the best time manager. Equal like if you're a computer, but not if you're a human. That's the major difference. More and more, I get more and more Nimzovician by the day. This is so much like this game I just analyzed. Even like structurally, I could show you guys. What was it now? Can't remember who was playing black in the particular game. I mean, Nimzovich was black. I can't remember who was playing white. What was it? Queen's Indian. Why the bullet? Why do you have to play bullet in a 5+3 game? Why is that so necessary? Why are you playing to win on time in a 5+3 game? No, it's gonna come to me. Oh, Sultan Khan. One of your British Commonwealth comrades. Arsenal fan. Mir Sultan Khan versus Nimzovich. It was also a draw, or should have been a draw. Till Nimzovich got his king like up on the dark squares, just like this, and won an endgame that should have been a draw. Couldn't be more similar. Even the knight transfer. Sultan Khan had a draw too, but it was necessary to find accurate moves. 95, unfortunately, might not work. That was the plan. Dude, he's trying to flag me, dude. You guys, like, secretly play tons of bullet chess? Jesus Christ. I don't know. I thought this was 5-5 and it's 5-3. This is the weirdest thing. Dude, I thought the game was 5 plus 5. And I know that I said 5-3 or 5-5, but I swear I thought the first challenge was 5 plus 5. Hurry up, dude. I don't have like 3-second increments. It's sudden death. Play faster. School of Noob Time Management. Well, you won the battle of time. You had more time than me the whole game. Congratulations. You didn't get as lucky as Arsenal fan. Check your email later. Oh, that's frightening. The last time I got an email, there was somebody like some scammer trying to like get my information by constantly sending me messages about like lessons that they don't really want to take. I don't really understand the gimmick. They want to find out my like payment details or something. But I have that. I will check my email. Okay. Threat or promise? Arsenal fan, what happened to our friend? 42. Maybe 42 was challenging me to 5 plus 5 and he disappeared. I will check my email. Thank you. And Ismail. Good Fridays. Fish. It's Fish Fridays. That's a good name for the stream, right? Fishy Fridays. Because, you know, I'm not Catholic, but the Catholics are big on eating fish on Fridays because they're not supposed to eat meat. I grew up in an Italian-dominated town. We could call it Fishy Fridays. Alright, okay, fine, I'll play. Fine. 42 just faked us out. Now I have this weird pattern of emails from some scammer. They keep asking me to, like... I don't know what they're trying to get. I'm not going to give them any, like... Fake lesson emails. It's really strange. Okay, I've been playing a lot of Bishop C4 lately. Well, I'm going to the Adriatic, so we got the seafood on the menu. Though I'm not big on, like, octopus. I like all kinds of seafood other than octopus. Although I'll eat calamari. Calamari is squid, right? It's not the same. But anyway, very big in Croatia and the Adriatic. Alright, so D6, it's D6, C3. So I'm going to Croatia on Sunday, and I'm going to be gone for 10 days. Our next stream will be the 25th, which is 2 weeks from today. Exactly 2 weeks from today, I'll be back. I'm not leaving till Sunday, and we have a stream tomorrow night. So if anybody here is interested, I'm hosting my usual Sunday simul on Saturday. This never happens. I don't know if I've ever done that, where I've moved the Sunday simul. Maybe once. I almost never have moved it. I've been doing streaming for like 8 years, and it's just unbelievable. You know, I don't know how many weeks in a row almost. Okay, I've had breaks, but... I decided to start playing the Joko piano with White because even though it's kind of boring when like noobs are playing it every single game against you, it gets boring that you play black and every single opponent plays Bishop C4 like it's the London system. Nevertheless, it's a very sophisticated and interesting opening. There's a reason why top players started playing the Gioco Pianissimo. And, you know, I think the Spanish lends itself to more exchanges, oftentimes. The Spanish is great, too. I want to understand both, honestly, and I never really played the Gioco Piano with white. Evans is too analyzed out. It's the opposite. It leads to too much forcing continuations that that can be kind of like memorized, I think. So I'm not looking for something like the Evans. The Evans is objectively okay for black. But you know, this is subtle. There's a lot of choices for both sides, obviously. And less exchanges. Why do I have more time than Arsenal fan? The hell's going on? Did he give me like time odds or something? I don't know about knight c4. I don't know much. I don't like the Evans, no. I suppose it's playable. And it's tricky, and it's good for maybe lower level players who are good tactically and just like wipe their opponents out, you know. But there's a reason why we don't see the Evans on a high level. For the same reason that people don't play like Smith Mora. Now a lot of forcing lines, exchanges, it pans out to probably a tiny bit better for black. There was a revolution in the 90s when Kasparov suddenly started playing the Evans. Everyone was shocked, including me. He also played the Scotch in the mid 90s, and we were also, you know, so he brought those two openings back into fashion, which was a great surprise at the time, but ultimately just a surprise. And you know, you didn't see Kasparov continuing to play the Evans and the Scotch for, you know, 20 years for the rest of his career. It was a one-shot, you know, or 5-shot deal. But back in those days, in the 90s still, computer databases and stuff weren't that thorough, so engines. I like the Gioco Piano. Very different from the Spanish. Gioco Pianissimo, I should say, because Gioco Piano is like c3, d4 right away. Okay. Boom! Arsenal hits the center. Not a move to be taken lightly. So I will have to seriously consider trapping or taking that bishop out on a5. I kind of like this move for you. Knight 6 b6. Not that convincing. Ah, queen takes. All right, what about this? Do we have anything here? You have bishop g4. Let's say rook e1, bishop g4, h3. I don't see why I should take your bishop on b6. I think we attack the pawn. Maybe you have a move there. Queen f6. I can then take the bishop though. a5 bishop c5 is also very interesting. a5 bishop c5, knight e5, knight e5, knight e5, rook e5, d4. Playable. All right, let's do this. I also have bishop a4 now. looks kind of cool. Bishop a4. a6. Anybody for a6? No. Okay, so take on e5 twice is an option, followed by the fork with d4. I don't see any problem with it. Maybe there is a problem with it. Too many choices. But Arsenal's really good tactically. His only problem is that he only sees good moves for himself. He doesn't see the good moves for the opponent. Much like I would find the same on a less noticeable level with like Larry Christensen. Some attacking players are really, really good at seeing tactics for themselves, but they often overlook tactics for the opponent because they're only looking for tactics for themselves. They have the cards. Everyone has a certain amount of, let's say, vulnerability to this. We have a ratio, right? How much do we look for moves for ourselves? You know, how much do we look for moves for the opponent? You know, some people are more prophylactic than others. Let's just say Arsenal fan is not the most prophylactic player. He's not likely to be looking for my moves that much. He's definitely looking for moves for himself. He's very selfish. All right. So we got two bishops. I like this. Rook h5, you found that. See, he finds these obscure tactical resources that most people would never find. Unbelievable. I'm sure this doesn't work. With g4, I mean, do you really want to risk that? It's ridiculous. I could have played bishop d1. Nah. Obscure tactical resources are Arsenal's specialty. Guys, 6 viewers. Wow, we're crushing it today. They must be watching those cam girls instead. So your rook, very subtle, very subtle. Wow. Queen d6. Nice move. Try to create minimum weaknesses. You got to admire Arsenal's will, you know. Welcome to the chat room. Did I go somewhere? Wow. I just got welcome to the chat room. I guess I came back. It's a woke chat room. I'm just warning you guys. Knight f6. Did not expect that. Wow. Woke Botvinnik in the house. So he's a pawn down, but things have looked worse for our villain in the past. I thought you would play knight b4 because I have a little bit of weaknesses here. I was surprised he didn't go to b4. Very much surprised by that. Oh, targeting my pawn. Maybe I want to protect said pawn. It's not really necessary. Should I keep 2 bishops on the board? It's a definite option. Maybe easier to win without it. Wow, he didn't take the pawn. Bruh. Mr. Fancy. One move threat, check. One move threat, check. Another one move threat, check. Another one move threat, check. Another one move threat. Check. One move threat, check. Alright, so what am I doing now? Technical endgame. This should be a win. Mm-hmm. Pretty optimal extra pawn on the queen side type ending here. This is not a good situation. I don't like f5 by black. Turning it into a Dutch in the rook game is not generally a good idea. That's why the Dutch sucks. You know, all rooking games are lost because you're like cut off on the 7th rank by your f-pawn being advanced. If you weren't lost already, I think after f5 you are. Look at that king. f5 takes, a6, king e8, a7. What's he gonna do? If the king was on h7, he could sort of hang on for a while. It's gonna be hard. Gave it the college try. No shortage of will to win from Arsenal fan. So let's check this out quickly, so we don't have any other challenges. Such a hypocrite. Wait, what? Uh-oh. He's mad at me for what? Flagged you? Wait, you even had less time than me until the last 20 moves? I don't think you had less time than me most of the game. We were like, okay, you like, I don't know, you spent 2 minutes for nothing in the opening. What were you like, you went to the bathroom or something? Bro, you like used 2 minutes in the first 10 moves or something. I don't know where it went. You never do that. I don't understand what that was about. You literally gave me 5-3 time mods at the beginning of the game and said I'm trying to flag you. What was that? You equalized at one point. When I played, I knew the super lame h3. Dude, where's your time? Where's your time, bro? It's move 10 and you had 3 minutes. And you said that I'm trying to flag you. It's the opening. It's like, where did your first time go? Here. You spent a minute on h6. I mean, that's not me trying to flag you. You literally spent a minute on h6. Did you get disconnected from the internet or what? It's a 5 plus 5 game. How did you spend a minute on h6? I think you were, or maybe I was abducted by aliens for like, I was missing time. I mean, I don't understand. How did you spend a minute on h6? What was that? Did you leave the board or something? You went to the bathroom? You spent 30 seconds on bishop b6, totally standard move, and then you spent a minute on h6, and so you were 2 minutes behind me on the clock. Yeah, but I mean, you're notorious for not tanking on moves like that. This is very uncharacteristic for you. I'm just playing normally. I don't know where that time went, you know? I thought you went to the bathroom. I was just talking to the stream, and I don't even notice. But look at this. What happened? H3 is bad. What am I supposed to play? F4? Maximum weaknesses. Oh my god, you have bishop takes h3. Holy shit, bro. You gotta be kidding me. And you didn't see it. Jesus Christ, man, what a position. And I mentioned bishop d1 on the previous move. You saw bishop takes h3? You didn't have time. You have a minute left, yeah. It's crazy. I mean, it's move 18. And you only have... Well, you have a minute plus 5 seconds per move, bro. I think... Where's 42? Late night sludgy? What do you mean? It's early morning. I just woke up. Yeah, I agree not to play bishop takes h3 unless you're sure. But I thought you would play knight b4. I thought at least your knight can come to d3. So takes. You're down a pawn, but I mean, I don't think it's as bad as the computer makes it seem. You're going to have to fight for a draw. Yeah, anyway. But I mean, okay, you played d5. That's kind of counterintuitive. Strangely, there's only one game of this position's ever been reached. Isn't that weird? Weird, man. Okay, here we have a lot of games. Zhang. Whatever happened to Zhang? They have him like in a training camp, imprisoned or something. What do they do? What happens to old Chinese grandmasters? They like imprison them and like make them like package Amazon goods, or knight c4 is the best move. What did you do? You did rook e8. It's best move. We only have a couple of games now, and I played a4. So a4 is a novelty. Nope, there's one game. And another Zhang. It's crazy. Knight a5. Crazy move. That's neat. Alright. Guys, we're taking challenges. Let me guess, but you didn't have time. Alright. No, it's the morning. I'm faster. Careful. Reduce says back. And then we'll take, if necessary, I'll play another game with Arsenal fan. But he's in rage mode, and I always lose the rematch. Alright. Guys, I've got an hour and 15 minutes. We can play the Kraken. I still think that Redusa might be a better e4 player. What the hell is that noise? My water? Dude, I didn't even believe you had bishop takes h3. I intuitively misjudged that. Do you think I would have played h3 if I thought you had the tactic? Thank God for bishop d1. I wouldn't have found it. Maybe I would have found it. I don't know. I would have freaked out if you played bishop takes h3. No doubt. So now it's, yeah. What is it now? This is just a thing. We had him do this once before. He goes from normal queen pawn games to e3. e3 poison. God, g4. I mean, it was very tempting, but I Just didn't think it was worth the risk. Yeah, that's the kind of move I'd probably waste all my time on in a tournament game, only to like lose the game later because I didn't have enough time. I'd probably waste like 20 minutes on thinking about g4 in an over the board game. Yeah, so what do we got? Like a classic King's Indian attack here. He's playing the French. So with black he plays a Sveshnikov. Then was there to the French too? So he can play French with both colors. This is a French defense reversed. I had a friend who used to play this. He did very well with it because people didn't take it seriously with white. And there's that book by the guy, the Swedish guy, Rock Hudson. What's his name? Axel Smith. E3 poison. Yeah, this is the classic Bobby Fischer, in reverse. Now Rook B1 I'm not familiar with. It's a natural looking move. Probably can't be bad. But there might be some scenarios where it's not good. So what should I do? Like C6? C6, B4? C6 looks good. I mean, we want to think about how to make Rook B1 great again. Or not great. What is that noise? There's this weird noise coming from in here. What is that noise? It's like the window. Alright. How to make Rook B1 great again. With a bishop F5, we'd expose Rook B1 for the scam that it is. We're going to impose tariffs on Rook B1. I can't look at the internet anymore because it's such a joke. I can't watch the news. Better for my mental health anyway. We're not going to talk about politics. It's Friday. I love Fridays. Oh, no. He wants to make this extra scary. No, I mean, Queen C2 is a normal move. Rook B1 a little bit weird. Yeah, we're going to have to impose tariffs. But one thing that a lot of players, I think they make a mistake trying to play the King's Indian attack in being dogmatic with the push versus take. I learned this from Igor Foigl, who's a great player. I was thinking today, actually, I talk about Foigl sometimes because he was a Ukrainian who he was a trainer from Ukraine who immigrated to New England, and we had a lot of games. I played Igor like 15 times and I never beat him. There's only a few players like that I played many games against and never beat them. Well, maybe two. Igor and Zlatko Ilinčić. Both players I played like 15 times and never beat them. Lots of draws, but no wins. But anyway, I was thinking today, maybe Igor actually knew Geller. Probably. He was, because we were analyzing the Geller yesterday, and I thought about this. And Igor, my friend, almost died. Last year, Gregory Markson told me he almost died because of COVID. He got COVID really bad. And then barely survived. Igor's from Kiev. But he was a major trainer in Ukraine, and, he's old enough to have been around, when Geller was still alive. I should call him one day, actually. No, his English was never that good as other players who immigrated when they were younger. So it's not like he speaks English, okay, but His accent is kind of strong. So I learned this from Igor, who probably was one of the best King's Indian players I know. That you don't necessarily push to e4. Certain structures it's better to play d5, and we could see this in, for example, Rubinstein's games. I'm not sure exactly where Igor got it from, but now this becomes a liability. Plus, there's the bishop f5. Another interesting move there for black would have been knight to e4. I can just occupy Democrats. Yeah, he's stopping bishop f5. So now we have some interesting stuff. Check this out. Do I play bishop g4? Walking right into knight e5? And if bishop g4, knight e5, knight e6? Or do I have another way to play? How do I expose the d4 pawn for what it really is? This is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Guy's such a natural. Bishop g4, knight e5. Wow. This is weird. Okay, knight e4. Knight e4 anyway. Knight e4 anyway. Just because I love you. I don't know if this works, but I'm going to hope it does. You wouldn't be surprised if what? Ta-da! I knew I'd get him on that diagonal. That's a classic trap, though. That's what you get for rook b1. He didn't see it because he's looking for tactics for himself, not for me. See, I'm looking at tactics for both of us, for you and for me. I'm an equal opportunity tactic calculator. That happens, though. This is a known tactic in the King's Indian. More in the classical lines. Petrosian variation, it happens. Oh no, he sacked his queen. That's extreme. Sacked his queen. That's a bit much. Equal opportunity tactic lender. I want to make sure we have, like, no unemployment. Oof, look at this. Perfect game. My best game of all time. Oh shit, only 8. It was a perfect game. He's still okay after 94. Wow, white's even slightly better. Yeah, just don't panic. 94 loses. I was going to play bishop g4. And then I bailed because I was unsure about this line. This was the plan. Bishop g4, 95, 96 to hit this pawn here. But I thought he could hold it with like 92. Doing 92 doesn't work. I missed this obvious move. So he has to play bishop e3, or he could take. No, he has to play bishop e3. Oh my god, I never would find this, dude. Dude, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Black has only one move here, and it equalizes, but it's impossible to find. It's like positional puzzles. You're completely equal if you find bishop h5. Like, come on, bro. Well, I mean, you might find it because there's, like, no other move, but to go into that position willingly, I was like, this isn't good. Damn. Well, there is no other move. You have to go bishop h5. Like, how are you not getting your bishop trap there? Wow. I mean, f3 or h3? This is crazy. How does this work? b5, knight g4. Okay, I get that. But, I mean, if he tries to... And f3 weakens... Why not h3? Arsenal's favorite move. There's no way I'm finding this. Arsenal's like, I saw that. I saw bishop h5. Damn, my bishop is just like a decoy. He's a human shield. Sorry. It's like the Walking Zombies. The Walking Dead. When one of the characters has to like sacrifice themselves for the good. It's Mr. Spock, you know. This bishop on h5 is totally doing the Mr. Spock. He's like, the good of the many outweighs the good of the few. What is the words exactly? The needs of the many. The needs of the many outweighs the needs of the few. So sorry, bishop on h5. You have to sacrifice yourself. Yeah, I'm not finding that. I'm not finding that. And that's why we played knight e4. Because this was the human move. Alright, anyway. Good game. Instructive. Where did you leave book? See? Rook b1. People don't play rook b1. Wow. The engine likes e4. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know. If we send it to higher mode. I got 2 challenges from Arsenal and Aspirant. I can't believe e4 is White's best move here. It's like a tempo down classical King's Indian. I don't know what Axel Smith would say. That's like disturbing. No, e4 is literally a tempo down classical King's Indian. And the engine is claiming that's White's best move. That's fucking ridiculous. I mean, if that's the case, then you shouldn't be playing this. It's funny, the White's best score is rook b1. e4. So who's played this? Elvest actually did this and lost to Coolouts. Huh. Weird. It's hard to believe that Elvis would play that without, like, knowing that. And Golod also lost. It's kind of funny. Fries Nielsen did it against Westerinen back in 1977 and lost. The 3 best players who ever did this all lost. Isn't that funny? No, Paravian did it and he won. And there's a correspondence game with Fleetwood with Black, this American guy. It's like Mr. Correspondence. He's not that strong of a player, but he's really good at correspondence. He was like world champion. That's crazy. So rook b1, rook e8 is better than, well, whatever, it's the same. b4 is also okay. And then b4 is best move according to the engine. And now EED. So you can take with the knight here. It's safer. I thought he very well might play that. You know, that's a safer way for White to go in this position. Less liability. Igor Krivonosov would definitely take with a knight. But he would also prefer his pawn to be back on d3 or b3 probably. 0 liability. All right, Arsenal fan is next. Everyone else gave up. I was lecturing. They're bored by my lecturing. Arsenal gets White. It's fair. Fair. I'm not going to mess around with the stupid stuff. I was going to play King's Indian. Proper King's Indian. Now, early G3. All of our options are on the table. Grunfeld. Grunfeld, Benoni. Look at Fischer. He played all three. Grunfeld actually played the Nimzo too. So pretty much everything Indian. See, Bobby didn't. Maybe I'm influenced by Fischer. Bobby didn't really play the Queen's Gambit with black. I like playing Indian defenses. Alright, now we're on our own. C6, playable but passive. Knight C6, does that just lose a piece? I guess we rule that out. There's always Queen D7. Doesn't inspire. I'm sure that C6 is playable. It's usually kind of passive. I have to consider all options here, even Knight FD7. Speaking of Fischer, Knight FD7 takes castles. Yeah, let's do it. Something fun. Smyslovian. The Smyslovian University. Knight F3. Welcome to Smyslovian. The Smyslovian Institute. Now what do? Oh, Arsenal's faster this time. He's not going to go to sleep on me. That's the point. Okay. C5? I don't think so. Not yet, my friends. Now maybe I'll play C5. Another option is Knight C6. Looks good too. It's so weird having these Friday streams and Asterbait not being here. You know, he doesn't show up. It doesn't feel like my stream without Asterbait. Isn't Knight on C6 in classical King's Indian? No, not necessarily. You know, all lines with white playing C4, D4, E4 are classical King's Indian. And black can play various setups with Knight on D7, with Knight on A6, with Knight on C6. The main line classical King's Indian with Knight to C6 is called the Mar del Plata, you know. But classical King's Indian is, it means that white plays the full center with C4, D4, E4. That's what it means. That's what I was learned. Okay, so what do you guys think? Black's better or just equal? Look at this hyper modern chess. Let's see what Arsenal can come up with. I was actually wondering a rather strange move there, but Bishop E3. The problem here is that your queen is undefended. A problem. I think Bishop F5 is overrated. So I have e5. There's no guarantee. How about bishop f5? e4, pawn takes pawn. So tactical. I'm so tactical. Bishop f5, e4, pawn takes pawn f5, pawn takes c3. Queen takes d8, rook takes d8. That's interesting. Oh. We're getting a lot of this today. You know? Bishop f5 is a popular tactic. I think I'm obsessed with doing that. If I play bishop g4 there, he plays d5 and the center stays closed. So I'm just hoping to win a pawn. I have no bad pieces. And Arsenal could be stuck with what? No, I mean Arsenal not stuck. He could have like maybe a good white square bishop. So this did not. That does not work. You just lost a piece. I mean, bishop e6 is better, probably. You have to go into the line. I mean, pawn takes f5, pawn takes c3. Obviously. It'd look better for black. But, no, I think realistically on bishop f5, you have to move your queen. And back to d1 or e2. But you're in trouble. I'm not sure that white is lost, but you're definitely losing at least a pawn. So e4, okay. And then you just have to take. Take. Takes on d8. Rook takes d8. Pawn takes c3. Bishop takes c3. Rook b1. And I guess I'm 2 pawns up. No, 1 pawn up. Because I'm not going to take on f5. I'm 1 pawn up in an endgame where you have 2 bishops. Nice try. Okay. I guess I take, huh? Wait, take knight b5? You have that? Oh my god. He has that. Alright, screw it. An angry Arsenal fan is a dangerous Arsenal fan. Not angry. I mean, you're not angry, but I'm just saying you're like pissed off. It's close to angry, but slightly less severe. A wounded animal. More dangerous than when it's like full. I take a rook. This bishop's done a lot of work. Now I'm going to need a move, which we might not have here. So how much do you win back? A whole piece? I'm up a whole rook. It's cool. Yeah, anyway, it's lost. his knight's hanging. Guys, be careful. I'm sharp today, which is surprising because I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, but I had a really good coffee. So Arsenal, this is a position I played 35 years ago. Like, I remember I had a game at the Boylston Chess Club against this guy from Hawaii. Actually, Chess Zebra's here. Robert, some 2200. Robert something. So I played the Romanician type of gambit. I mean, I would recommend you play knight f3 here. Fuck this whole queen a4 check crap, you know. Take your chances with knight f3. Castles. I think this gambit is actually this type of gambit is actually there's some stuff here. You know, I don't think this is necessarily bad. It always had kind of a bad reputation. Looks like it's not so clear. I mean, c6, e4. Look at this, Carlsen, Mamedyarov. This something to it. There's something to it. Maybe c6 isn't even black's best move. That was always this is Romanician Anand from like 1994, 1992. I don't remember. Is the game in there? It's quoted in all the King's Indian books, or Grunfeld books. Romanician would sack the pawn. You know, most people wouldn't. But anyway, okay. Queen a4 checks a move. I didn't know it, damn. So I thought for a while and I found it. Knight fd7 is best. Nice job, me. I didn't know that. You know, I just found it intuitively. Yeah, I did an Arsenal fan. I thought a minute there on that move. Your move is best. Most people now play knight c6. We're following Hubner Topalov, 1996. Queen takes c4, knight b6, and you actually play queen d3. So I was thinking queen b3. You can get hit by bishop e6, a5, a4. I'm not sure, you know. Queen c5 is not really recommended unless you want to do like a Donald Byrne and get your, like, you know, Bobby Fischer queen sack on or something like that. Yeah, dude. Arsenal fan, come on. But queen b3, the problem isn't the d4 pawn. It's like you're going to get hit by bishop e6, a5, a4, you know. I'm not taking that pawn. You could take the pawn if you're like a maniac. I mean, yeah, this is a legal move. But no good player is going to play this. You have massive compensation. That's a total noob move. I mean. But anyway, queen d3, you're playing like Hubner. Knight c6. Hubner drew Topalov. So even e3, I told you bishop e3 was an idea. I'm not sure it's good. But bishop f4 apparently is your move. This makes some sense. That way you have rook d1. You have the counterattack against c7. So nobody's played e3. It may not be that bad, though. Like, let's see. e5. Castles. Wow, the computer wants me to play f5 here. Bruh. Didn't even consider it. Wow. So I literally played the fourth best move in this position. But it's fun. Even e4 is okay. And now after he takes d4, you have to take. Okay, I considered bishop g5. I wasn't sure what was going on. But I can sack my queen. Nice. Pawn takes c3, bishop takes d8. The ghost of Bobby Fischer. Nice. Enjoy your queen sacrifice. Yeah, you should take on f5. I take on c3. You trade queens. I take with, I don't know, I would have taken with the a rook. I don't know. This is what I said. You take back, take the pawn, rook b1, and see, it's you have almost enough compensation. It's a Romanician Catalan, type thing, where your light square play is just enough to justify the pawn sacrifice. I'm not going to take on f5. I mean, so you're only going to trade on g6, and you're only going to be one pawn down. Anyway, how are we doing on time, guys? Good game, Arsenal fan. Instructive. So, how's my center pawn loss? 17? Why did I get 17? The fuck? I have no inaccuracies, no mistakes, no blunders, and I have 17 center pawn loss. Vasudev? No. I like how, there was some dude last stream on Tuesday. I'll get you Saturday. Tomorrow. It's tomorrow. Because today's Friday. So it's very soon. Happy Friday. The streets. T Streets. The funny thing was this particular opponent, there was some troll, for lack of a better word, who was accusing this player of cheating in the tournament on Tuesday. I looked at UPSC's games, and they're all totally no one in their right mind would accuse them of cheating. Totally human. Clearly. I don't know who it is, but they're definitely legit. So that was just somebody being stupid. Don't name them yet. Okay, I don't like d4. But this player likes the knight c3. All I'll say is, if you play the Linkspringer or knight c3, you better know what the hell you're doing. Because if you make any mistakes, you're worse. Basically, with the Dunst opening, it's just about enough to be equal. But you can't afford to play it and not know what you're doing. You're gonna very quickly get a disadvantage. You got to know what you're doing. And white is already slightly worse here. I think this is a line, actually. Okay, we had bishop f4. We had bishop f4 last time. Maybe that was my one game with this guy. Bishop g5 isn't good enough. Bishop f4 prevents e5. Bishop g5 does not. Time will tell. I like that. One player I'm suspicious of. Why? Why Vasudev? Because I don't play rated games and I don't play 3-0. So you pretty much, you hit all the negative illegal challenges. Rated and sudden death are both not. It's very simple. It's 5+3 or 5+5 casual. That's why. Because I don't like to play all kinds of different time controls. We keep it casual with an increment, and I can talk about the gains and we can get something out of it. You might as well challenge me to 1-0 rated. What's the difference between 1-0 and 3-0? Ultimately. So knight f3, okay. Now I have d4. d4. Knight takes e5. What's the refutation? d4, knight takes e5. Oh yeah. That's nasty. Nasty. Black to move and win a piece. d4, knight takes e5. Oh my god. This is a Chigorin in reverse. I had to just remember why I'm winning a piece after d4. Well, I'm not winning a piece, but if he tries to take the pawn on e5, he loses a piece. Can you see why, boys and girls? Knight takes c5, pawn takes c3, queen takes d8, check. King takes d8, knight takes f7, check. King c7. God knows what's happening there. Oh man, the dude's sending me private messages. Why are you doing this? Okay. Sir. You called me sir. What's with the sir? I don't know about that, but there's a much simpler solution to the puzzle. This looks wrong. It is wrong. It's very wrong for white, dude. He has a terrible position. It's very wrong. And that's what I'm saying, like, the dunce opening is not something that people should play unless they're like, you know, at least get this Der Linkspringer, the book. I mean, now we have choices. F5, knight c6. It's all good. Maybe I should hold off on the f5. We can wait a moment. Better to develop. I want some miniatures with white in the Chigorin. Okay, the extra tempo helps. But here, like, white has no dark square bishop. Bro, where's your dark square bishop? Is that important? See, people don't understand how important it is. They don't tell you that at Mattel or Hasbro. I'm gonna sue Hasbro and Mattel for selling chess sets without, like, properly assigning the value of the pieces. They $20 million lawsuit because they claim that bishops are worth 3 points in the instructions. That'd be funny, though, to file a lawsuit. You've been lying to me about the value of the pieces. And that's why I suck at chess now. Yeah, that's too high. Of course, no. You know, Larry Kaufman did a lot of computer stuff, and he knows. It's something like 3.15 or, you know, 3.3. But, you know, here, I mean, it's just, it's so early in the game, and white has no control at all over the dark squares on the board because of the absence of the dark square bishop. So he's already in, like, almost terminal. He's already in almost terminal danger here. I was waiting for him to play e3 before I played f5. Although I guess it doesn't objectively matter that much. It's a total disaster for white. It's like -2. No, Staunton said 3.5 in the American Handbook. The ironic Staunton's American Chess Handbook. That's how they marketed it. I have like 3 copies of that. They're probably worth like $20 each. I'm not going to get rich from collecting Staunton's chess handbooks. But I used to like to collect, like, chess books. Back when I had a place to put them. H5 loses a piece, right? MTV Unplugged. You know, he might try a little, have a little fun here when knight takes f7. You know, I should think for a minute, because it's not. I have bishop e4 check too. I have a lot of moves. Yeah, I mean, e4 wins a piece, but there might be even better. queen a5 check. To take the pressure off the knight. This is the simplest. You can sack a knight on f7. Actually, there maybe I don't take and just do something else, like queen a5 there. Knight takes f7, queen a5 check. That'd be sick. Knight f7, queen a5 check. Your turn. Yeah, and probably knight d2 helps him, because then he has like queen h5 check and stuff. I should just take the knight. Neat move. I did overlook this. So now it's all hands on deck. Wow. Shouldn't be enough. All right. Maybe I should consider king d7. Not blocking my queen. I would imagine that both moves are winning. You do have to be a little careful. Another message. Jesus Christ, dude. What is with these people? Alright. You're banned. No calling me sir. I got another sir. Now they're trolling me. Oh, he's just dropping a piece here. Oh no, I'm hallucinating. Okay. For something new and totally different, we're just hallucinating. Alright. But anyway, white's down a piece and about to lose another one. So that could be a problem. His rooks aren't really helping. They're migrant workers that have been deported, no longer working on the farms. So do you have some perpetual here? I don't think so. Ain't no perpetual. I have all sorts of escape hatches. No, this is neat. We could just go out. Go gadget arms. Nothing to see here, folks. Just move along. I hate that, like when you're playing over the board and you've got like some totally winning position, but then people are like vulturing it. Like, dude, I'm totally winning. Get out of here. You love that. You know, the noobs all come up and they're like hovering over the board like you're gonna die. Waiting for you to die. I'm like, dude, I've got this under control. Get out of here. Give them dirty looks and stuff. What a game, dude. What a game. Again, 1 inaccuracy, 25 cent upon loss. Who's calculating this? He played bishop f4. It's a better move. Last time. Wow, 4 people played knight on bd7 here. 4 people played knight c6. Come on, man. e5 has to be the move. Wow, it's not as good as knight on bd7. That's ridiculous. Tim Wall, Alexander Schneider, 1992. Oh, Angelo Young drew David Vigorito, my friend. Angelo played this crap with white. Oh my god. Wow, that's crazy. He has a move here. This is okay for white. I don't believe it. I don't fucking believe it. That this is going to hold up for white. Wow. Knight b5, d4, knight d5? That's insane. That's so cool. Dude, how have I never seen this position before? Knight db5, d4, knight d5. How cool is that? There's this guy, Wilson Palencia. Okay, he's like an IM. Played it with white. That's a great position. Yeah, it's a martial defense, tempo up. Exactly. And now I have to allow the face hugger. So this is actually bad for black. Holy crap. I mean, I have to play knight a6. And white's position is okay. Vishkosel Niklan. That means necklace. Necklace in Hungarian. Necklace. So anyway, this is really instructive. Wow. So e5. You know, it's funny because with white, if you play against the martial defense, like I had with Kopek, d4, knight f6, c4, d5, c takes d5, knight takes d5, knight f3. If black plays bishop f5, I know the best move is knight on bd2, where white is trying to play e4. I had this with Kopek years ago, and I knew the move, you know, knight d2. He drew. So it's funny here, this is the same thing in reverse, but intuitively, it doesn't seem as logical to play knight on bd7 here. You're not like threatening to fork anything with e5. Funny. Let's see. What do we do? Wow. Knight c6 is fine. That's probably what most people get. Karl Hassler. Igor Ivanov, 2005. Oh, this dude played it twice. So this is e4, man. That's the best move. I definitely faced this in Blitz. Somebody played this against me. But I'm saying, you know, you got to know what you're doing in this opening, man. If you're going to play it with white, you better know what the hell you're doing. All right, I've got until 2:30. I just got to check my hate mail while we're playing. But don't play the Dunst opening without knowing your shit. Though, I normally, I don't know those lines that well because I normally go knight c3, d5, move order. This was knight c3, c5, no, knight c3, I played, yeah, c5, knight f3, knight f6, d4, that I don't really get that often. There's some cool lines there. I would think that the dunce is okay, but you got to know it cold, and you're only going to get equal at best. But it's good for people who want to avoid theory. Asa Hoffman used to play it all the time. But then you get predictable, you know. If you get too predictable, I think it kind of loses its point, you know. All right. Yeah, great opening to know really well and play once in a while. Like the birds. Yeah, I had one guy who did like knight c3. I had one guy who did like the knight c3, c5, g4, I think, which is mentioned in the Linkspringer. So it's like a Dunst-Grab hybrid. Yeah. Dunst-Grab hybrid. Grab deferred. Black setup is very passive here. What do I do about that move? No, I thought you might go to a6. Yeah, this player just moves real fast. We played once before. Well, I mean, what do you expect? The guy challenged me to 3-0, and I made him play 5+. So he's probably going to play like 3-0 game. I don't expect him to take his time. Yeah, I don't remember what happened. Have you ever had anyone play the Grab against your Arsenal? You haven't played, that many tournament games. I have probably 2,000+. If you look me up on like chessgames.com, it says 500 games. But in reality, that's just games that show up. I mean, I have a lot of games that were never recorded in some database. I probably have like 2,500 games, at least. I guess I had the Grab at least once or twice. There was definitely that, let's see, g4. They like the g4, d5, bishop g2. I had a g4, d5, bishop g2, c6, c4. They do that, like the Grab combined with the English or some kind of sniper is probably the best way to play it. Grab is like what White's worst opening. I mean, terrible. Not sure what Black is doing here. The knight, like, if it goes to f6 and gets hit, it has to go back. Do I want to exchange pawns on e5? I mean d5? Maybe f5 immediately? The 4. Well, actually, here. Cesar. 44 just left. He's just like, I'm out of here. Screw that, I'm not waiting for a game. Germans are always in a hurry. They're always rushing. The 4 attack works better with the bishop on the diagonal. So I was going to sack a piece. Actually, I'm not sacking a piece. What did I think? I don't know what I thought. He's going to take on e4. f5 is strong. Now, the future. The future is now. I said this the other day. Muppet Labs jokes. So knight b5. Decoy. It's just a decoy. Divert attention from the other side. It's another Mr. Spock. Knight e5 doesn't work. Knight g5. Knight g5. Queen takes b5, knight takes e6 with a very interesting compensation. I also have bishop takes g5, queen h5 check, g6, queen takes g5, queen takes b5. Alright, I'm not going to sack the knight. It's not that clear. But we're just massively better here. Mr. Coffee, what's up? A sailboat. Oh, that's a sailboat. Okay. How are things at X? I heard Linda left. Who's holding down the fort now? Those Nazi comments really went over like a bad fart. Can't keep Grok under control. We used to think that Mr. Coffee worked at Dunkin' Donuts, but it turns out that he works at X. And he's one of the last ones that didn't resign. He's just ashamed to admit it. Can't trust anything I say. You know that, Arsenal. Better than anyone. Oh no, knight e6. Pawn takes b5, pawn takes b5. We could really have some fun here with this position. The decoy remains. Wow. Yeah, okay, let's just have fun. I'm going to sack a piece. My pieces are just rocking, you know. Every single piece I have is like massively active. If we just sacrifice Mr. Spock on b5. I missed the minor detail, but it probably doesn't matter. The compensation is just too big. See, he could have gone to d6. And it's obviously way better, because now he's in the diagonal of this. You know, do you want to be in the diagonal of that? No, d6 was way better. We had like mutual hallucination. Okay, he could also get hit by knight takes g7, check, knight f5. He's lost anyway. That drops a queen. Yeah. So what's the material? Queen for 2 knights. Pretty standard material balance. The old queen for 2 knights. I get this all the time. Yeah, I shouldn't have played bishop d2, probably. I might as well start swapping. Yeah, I'm like getting better tactically. My problem in tournament chess is my time management sucks. You know, my principles are good where I should use my time, but then in practice, I start doing stupid shit. We really need to max our chances here somehow. I should be stronger than I am. There's no rating. There's no way I should let my ELO rating, my standard ELO rating, go under 2300. I can win a pawn. Yay! I'll take what I can get. That's a big pawn. This is a big one. That's a small one. You want the big one or the small one? Well, he can play king d6. Can and should. He's listening to the stream. 2 bishops. The blockade here. I don't know about this blockade, man. But he has bishop g4. Very, very nasty. I'm not too worried about it. Now we got him on the run. He has like Arsenal like will to win. Never resigns. Even if he wasn't down a pawn. I mean two. No, theoretically, if he wasn't down 2 pawns, there might be some blockade chances. Trying to take my pawn. That's fine. You can have it. I don't need it. Have you tried the hardest puzzles? No. Oh, the Liechtenstein Arena is this week. Yay! I can face cheaters for money. God, I love when there's prize tournaments. I'm there. I'm there, man. I want to sweat having to report my cheating Grandmaster opponents. Wow, this is very respectful. Nice. That's cool. The 11-year-old? Which one? Alright, dude. You're banned. You gotta be kidding me. I will never play another game with you. What an asshole. Unbelievable. Wow. Wow. That's so dis. Guys, I have time for like one quick game, 5+3, against someone who's not a jerk. Unbelievable. Wow, dude. This is a different guy, but still. Sir. He called me sir and then wouldn't resign and offered me a draw at the end. Well, that's the problem with our world, you know? You're like, oh, it's probably a kid. Yeah, it probably is, but I had like respect for people when I was 11. I started playing in tournaments when I was 11. I had total respect for people. I was a good sportsman. This is just ridiculous, you know? There's no excuse for being a kid. Yeah, he's probably 7, not 11. But even when I was 7, I had respect for people. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable what the internet has done to society. It's so sick. Learning chess. That's why, you know, 49% of American voters voted for Donald Trump. There's no morality anymore, you know. I saw an article somewhere yesterday about it in the New York Times, or I don't remember where it was. There's a total dearth of morality in the world now. It's really scary, you know. Polarization, total lack of morality. Yeah, let's vote for the most corrupt, disgusting narcissist in the world because we want to own the libs or whatever. That's something that can't happen in a normal society where there's a level of morality. You know, I mean, it's insane. Just an example. I mean, there's all kinds of things to point to. What am I playing here, by the way? But yeah, little kids just having no respect in the chess server. Okay, that's not completely new. But it's a symptom of a scary world that's just going to get worse and worse. Prevalence of social media. I agree, man. They're eating the cats. Yeah, they've got to deport those cat-eating Haitians, Mr. Coffee. The playbook was start here, but you know the irony is that it's not as bad in Europe as it is in the United States. Now I can't speak to the UK, Arsenal fan. The moral decay, I guess, is worse in the UK than in mainland Europe. It's happening everywhere, obviously. But I can tell you by like living in, you know, it's still bad here. It's bad here. But it's probably like worse in the United States, you know, almost as bad in UK. And then in like Europe it's not quite as bad, but it's getting there. I feel like we have stronger family traditions and things like that in Europe that sort of glued it together a little bit better. When you start to see the familial sort of decay, social decay, yeah, it's horrible. I can't speak to how it is in the UK. I mean, obviously you can see horrible stories about shit happening in the UK, Arsenal. I'm sure it's almost as bad as the US, but not quite. The neighbors. The neighbors. Your neighbors. Oh my god, the neighbors. Yeah, we haven't talked about the neighbors. I hope the neighbors aren't posting on X. Your neighbors. The kids got removed. What is Learning Chess doing? My queen's attacked. Oh man, I blundered my queen a couple times recently. Just straight up whole queen. Happened yesterday in a blitz game. The straight up whole queen drop. I tried to save it. My opponent was like down a piece and a pawn for nothing, playing on. I dropped a whole queen, and then he played like a genius after he like picked up my whole queen. It was kind of weird. I was like, wow. When he wins a whole queen, he's like really motivated to play well. But until that point, this is the same thing going on here with Learning Chess. Maybe it was Learning Chess. But see, the problem, it's connected to social media. It's connected to watching YouTube. It's connected to TikTok. It's connected. The cheapening of our moral fibers. It's connected to playing bullet chess and other trash like that. People don't even read books anymore. I never wanted to fall out with you. The drug's talking. Yeah, Learning Chess, I don't even want to speculate what their deal is. I've seen so much random, like, inconsistency in this player's play. One day they're like 2200, the next day they're 1200. They're playing this game like a 1200, but sometimes they're capable of playing like 2200. Just like you rolled a 20 side die, and that's the rating you get from this opponent. It's really weird. I could sack my queen again. I'm strongly tempted. Lots of pieces for the queen. I guess the truth is that there are people who are playing multiple players on the same account. It's unavoidable. It's absolutely unavoidable. So one interesting line here is knight c7 check. I like that. I guess this isn't really the best. He sort of escapes with minimum damage. So he's like gonna survive this. Bizarre. Just bizarre. Black's kind of back in the game now. Pawn down, white does the two bishops, but his king survives. Holy shit. Okay, I almost forgot what I was trying to do. Yeah, really weird. Now I have to totally concentrate. No. He's not a piece down. I'm sure he could have been. I'm trying to find something. Gotta be careful. Yeah, it's pretty weird. I would be very curious to know who this is. It's so bizarre. 1800 in chess 960. And they're 84 and 6 against me. Figure that out. How that's possible. Like, are they trolling? It's like handicapping themselves to make it more fun or something. Like, they want to see how bad a position they can get to make the game more interesting. Is that like the idea? And they just always appear out of nowhere. After not playing me for a long time. I don't think they're learning, though. No, ironically. They don't seem to learn. They're always the same. Same, different levels at a given time, but too much bullet. They don't listen to me. What's the point? Alright, guys. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow night. This is the last game. I gotta go. We're out. I got lessons and loan sharking to do. So we have a threat. Queen f8 check looks okay. I'm okay, you're okay. Bishop d4. Maybe we can finally win some material here. Barely. Yeah, I know, Arsenal. I was thinking you've improved a lot. I disagree. I think you're being like ridiculously pessimistic. You've improved more than most people. That's bullshit. agree with Mr. Coffee. Now, admittedly, you probably could have improved more. Oh no, he allowed this. Alright, so that was rematch. That was 1100. He played like an 1100. It's like a chess club where there's like 50 different people. And you never know what you're going to get. It's like Forrest Gump. Yeah, well, Arsenal fan took some time off here and there. You know, you haven't been like, if you stick with it, you're going to get to candidate master, Arsenal fan. I was thinking. You can probably get to CM. But you got to stick to it. But your will, the will is there. All right, guys, I'll see you later. Saturday night. What to focus on? Everything. 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 You just need to be better at everything. It's easy.